Hey, today is the 1st of November, just after Halloween. I'm filming this and it's been more than a month since I've recorded my last video, so I had a big excuse for this. I moved back to France and I was so overwhelmed by everything going on here that I've been spending all my free time with friends, by the beach, by the sea, in the mountains. I was out all the time and I didn't feel like filming anything. Right now I'm in a second lockdown this year, so I have a chance and an opportunity to get back to you guys. And today's video is about a topic that's been bothering me for a while. I've been wondering if I should make a video about this or not. But basically today is almost a year since I've started my own business, my social media marketing agency. And today I just wanted to reveal a little bit of the truth and the downsides of this kind of business model. Because almost exactly a year ago, me and my former colleague, we decided that this is the best business model and we're gonna get rich. So let me just show you a little bit of reality. Let me be clear, you start a business because you want to earn money, all right? That's why the business model we chose, we thought it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be easy. You don't need to rent an office when you start. You don't need to have a big team. It's enough to help, to find some help from assistants and people who have some expertise in the field, but it's quite easy to manage as we thought. And all you need is stable Wi-Fi and you can work from anywhere. This is a dream work, right? Also, you see a lot of successful digital marketers who play on people's desires of getting rich and advertise this business model as something very easy to manage, like you can sign your first client with $1,000 retainer a month and it's going to be easy peasy. Well, in reality, I don't think that in 2020 or in 2021, as a beginner, whether you're a freelancer or you've just launched your agency, you can actually find a client for this amount of money. And a lot of these successful marketers claim that this is like the minimal, this is the starting point, and then it's very easy to get to like $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. Please guys, don't buy this. This is so far from the truth that when I see this kind of advertising, I feel like yelling at them, like, guys, come on, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. And also a lot of digital marketers like this, they tend to sell courses, and they sell a lot of courses where they teach other people to do the same thing, like manage Facebook ads and create content for social media. The reality is many business owners have already worked with poor quality experts, freelancers that have no idea how to run ads and how to actually generate profits for their clients. So you have a chance of being accused of a scam, and people don't really trust social media marketers because the level of experts in general is quite low. More than that, clients who pay you around $100, $200 for setting their Facebook ads are usually the kind of clients who expect you to be online 24/7, who do not really respect your personal time and think that calling you on Saturday night is appropriate. And these are the kind of clients who usually expect that you are going to just boost their business from scratch just if they pay you like $100. So let me just be clear and give you a real life example, something that happened to our agency a few months ago. And I personally wasn't prepared for this mentally, because I felt like this was a mental rape in a way, because this kind of clients unfortunately exist. So what happened? So we signed a small deal with a client, a small agency. It's another agency, but they manage public relations and they do a bit of a different communication stuff. So they needed to generate leads, and they paid us a 50% retainer, which was around $250, something around that. So what happened is that we set a budget for Facebook ads, we started generating them leads, and within 2 weeks we converted 11 or 12 leads. I'm not sure anymore about the number, But basically, that's what happened within 2 weeks. And furthermore, the agency, the client, they couldn't actually close the deal with those leads. So what happened is they didn't have a salesperson, and the person who was managing those leads, I mean, getting in touch with them and actually trying to sell them their services, she was not a salesperson. She had no clue what to do. So in the end, we were to blame for this, even though we had generated 11 or 12 leads. And what happened is that the client, when the lead generation, traffic generation settings on Facebook and Google were already working, she just shut down access for us. She was having admin access herself, and she decided that she can just shut us down after 2.5 weeks of work, saying that we didn't bring enough results for those 2.5 weeks, which was, I mean, it was like 20 days that we were working together. And she just shut us down and threatened to sue us, which of course at the beginning we thought it was a joke. I mean, it must be a joke. This is no way that this is happening.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
The moral of the story: convincing people that it's gonna take time and investment to get actual clients, it's not easy. It's quite a challenge, and a lot of business owners unfortunately misunderstand it and think that Facebook ads can get them direct clients, even though that's often not the case, especially if the business owner himself cannot sell his own service. Our data from some of our biggest clients shows around 30% of their revenue are marketing costs. So if you expect to invest $100 on Facebook ads and get $10,000 of sales in return, you're wrong. It's impossible. Of course, there are exceptions. Of course, everything depends on the product and the service that you sell, but usually the costs that it takes to invest in marketing are much bigger. So whatever business you're doing, you have to be ready to spend at least 30% of your revenue on marketing, especially at the beginning, especially when you don't have brand awareness and zero client base. So this is something that we have to explain to each client, especially small clients who come and expect to get everything for $200, $300, and also expect sales to start from day one of launching ads, which is hardly ever the case, and also it depends a lot on the product and the service in that case. Another sad fact: keeping up with social media marketing and digital marketing updates, it's really hard, and you have to upscale your knowledge all the time. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the market real soon, and no one will need your services. Also, finding smart people for your team, that's a real challenge. People who think that finding freelancers like copywriters, designers, content creators is easy, they're so wrong. I can tell this from my personal experience because after a year I realized that finding someone who has the right knowledge and who is ready to get paid as much as you can pay them is really a huge challenge, because usually at the beginning, especially when you deal with small clients, you don't have that much to give as a salary to your team, so you don't expect to invest all of your revenues on your team, otherwise you will be broke, and you expect to earn some money as well, right? And what happens is that you either end up with a team of people who don't really understand what they are doing, or they are the beginners who are motivated, determined, but you have to teach them everything from scratch. And it doesn't often go as well as you want it to go. Sometimes you just hire someone who seems to be motivated, and then you see that with a few months this fire is just, it's gone, So you have to keep looking for people. You have to hire new people all the time, and you have to fire people as well, because sometimes when you see that if someone in your team is losing motivation and it has impact on the others, you have to do something about it. You can't let this go, and unfortunately it's not always the case to do some team building or to learn something together, to talk. This is not always working, and that's the part of managing a team, and that's what a lot of digital marketers who are calling themselves successful They just forget to mention it somehow. But actually, it is a challenge to find people that have knowledge and expertise. Another part is about managing your clients and your business operations on the go every day. And yes, there is something romantic, clearly, about being able to work remotely, being able to work from home, from wherever you want. Though the reality is that you are working all the time. And it's not like you just gave some tasks to your team in the morning and then you can go for a run and then you can have a brunch with your friends. No, 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 no. It's not that pink and glamorous. Unfortunately, the case is you have to be online 24/7. There will always be questions and misunderstandings and some urgent deadlines or mistakes that you have to correct somehow. And you have to actually stay tuned with what's going on every day. And weekends also don't always count because a lot of clients tend to have their time for managing social media and communications only on the weekends, and they believe that it's totally okay to arrange calls and send important messages on Saturdays, Sundays, or Friday nights. That's my favorite. It is about your personal time and managing things on the go. You have to do this all the time. And if you're not ready for this, if you're not ready to communicate all the time, even when you don't feel like doing it, even when you're simply stressed, when you have a burnout, or you just want some time in peace, it's not often possible. And this is an important thing to know before you start your social media marketing agency. And here is my final point, but probably the most important one. Finding clients, it's a real big challenge. So obviously that's the case for any kind of business. Of course, it depends on the kind of service and product you sell. But anyways, in digital marketing, finding your first client and the second and the third, this is a real deal. This is really hard. And people who say that signing your first client with $1,000 is okay, it's not just okay. It's wow, it's huge, you know. If you get to sign someone for this amount of money, especially this year or in 2021, you're a genius. Because right now it's kind of a crisis, economic crisis. So people are not really willing to invest a lot in social media marketing. They're not willing to invest a lot in ads, and you get this especially when people are in a lockdown or people are simply not willing to buy as much as they used to. So my point here, if you find someone who is willing to pay you at least $200-300, that's already great. That's okay for the start, and you should be really fine with it. It's okay not to start with huge numbers. And it's also absolutely totally great if you get to find someone like medium or big size business from the beginning, and you receive a huge paycheck in the end of each month. To sum it up, if you're running a social media marketing agency, you think of it, you have to be ready that you will be a one-man band. So if you have a choice and you can be a freelancer or run an agency, but you've never done both, start with being a freelancer, because this way, after a few months already, you will see how much workload you can actually manage, how much communication can you manage, because this is constant. This is going to be happening to you like every day, all the time. And you have to simply be sure and confident about your level of expertise, because if you're launching an agency, it's not like you can hire some other people to do all the work for you. This is a perfect scenario, but as I explained earlier, it's very hard to actually execute this. So it's often the case that you have to do something for your team or redo something after some of your employees, because it's an ongoing work, it's non-stop, and you have to really understand what's going on in social media and digital marketing. You have to be really good at it, and you probably should be really passionate about it, because you don't see yourself, I guess, managing Facebook ads or Google ads every day of your life for the next few years, right? You just want this business to generate you some money, and also like create a team that will help you do this. In reality, it is a long way, and it is not always an easy one. Thank you for watching. See you soon.